Graham, that's a brilliant point for your team, isn't it? And with the missed penalty, it could have been even better, perhaps.
Yeah, a really good point, a hard-earned point. So proud of the players in terms of the effort that they put in after a short turnover games from Saturday and an emotional game on Saturday. On a warm night, had a real threat first half, and had to defend a bit more second half, of course, because you're playing against a team that's chasing for the Champions League. But I thought we reduced them to not too much, and delighted with the points. Yeah, it's another point for us, and we have to carry on.
I mean, you say they had a bit more in the second half, but they didn't manage a shot on target in the second half. You almost completely nullified their attack, despite when they brought the big guns on towards the end as well. So how much does that please you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, I'm really proud of the players, the effort, the collective spirit, the understanding, the togetherness was top. I thought, like I say, it's not easy to limit a team like Leicester with the players they have, and then the subs coming on, like you say, give you more problems. But overall, I thought we defended well, and when we could, we tried to attack, we tried to carry a threat, and on another day we could have scored. But that's football as well.
4 points from games against Arsenal and Leicester, and you're 2 games back from lockdown. What do you make of that? That's some reaction, isn't it? That's some return from the players.
Well, I think it was important that we drew before the lockdown 0-0 at Wolves, which isn't so easy to do either. We had quite a good performance there, and we'd had too many draws before lockdown. So when you haven't won, it becomes a little bit negative, of course. So you have to respond, and it was important that we responded in terms of our performance, in terms of our fight, in terms of our collective desire for each other, and then obviously you want to try and pick up points because that's what we're in it for. So delighted with 4 points, but it's still we've still got a long way to go. We're still ready for the fight.
A long way to go, but 6 points above the relegation places now. How sizable does that gap feel? It's a heck of a lot bigger than it was, a few months ago.
Yeah, but again, we still need to carry on. We still need points ourselves. We're not too. That's not our focus. Our focus is just to concentrate on the next game, to try to make sure our performance is good, and we can get ourselves in a position where we can pick up points and get wins and get the points we need to stay in the Premier League. That's the main objective, and we have to do that by focusing on ourselves and doing everything we can to make sure our performance is good enough to get the points in the Premier League.
And last one for me. You've got both Manchester clubs and Liverpool to play in the run-in. But with the performances you put in against Arsenal and Leicester, 2 top teams, what sort of confidence do you and the players take from that with those games to come?
Well, we're in a good place in terms of 4 points from two difficult games in a short spell as well, short space in between the games. So that's positive for us. But as I've said before, every game in the Premier League is hard. It doesn't matter who you play against; they're all really tough. It's the best competition, and because it is that, then you expect every game to be difficult. So we just focus on the game, try our best, and make sure we're competitive.
Well done tonight, mate. I'll shut up so we can have some stuff.
Thank you.
Ryan, do you want to crack on?
Yeah, please. Tariq Lamptey, I'm sure you're pleased with his debut, but I was wondering if you could analyse and tell us what particularly pleased you about it, Lamptey, his debut.
Sorry, Brian, can you say that again, please?
Yeah, Lamptey. I'm sure you're pleased with his debut, but I was wondering if you could just sort of analyse it a little bit and tell me what you thought he did particularly well.
Well, I think you can see his attributes. He's got great speed. I thought he competed well in his fullback position. Great courage, because he took a heavy smash to the face. Needed stitches during the game. Big hole on his side of his face. Playing against some good players out there, and I thought he was magnificent. He's a really good boy that wants to improve, wants to get better, and he's desperate to play football.
Was he close to having to come off?
Yeah, it was touch and go. We were waiting for him really, because he was just getting stitched up. He's got quite a big cut in his face, but he carried on, and it's a great debut for him. Really pleased for him.
Because had that one moment on the counter, Vardy in sort of Vardy territory, bearing down on him. Was that probably maybe his best moment, I guess?
Well, he's so fast, Tariq. It's even Jamie. Jamie's as fast, and but Tariq is as fast as anybody. So pleased for him in that situation, that 1v1 defending. He did really well, and like I said, he'll get better, I think.
An assessment of Alexis on his first start and why you started him.
Good, yeah. I mean, he's been in a good momentum. He's been coming off the bench and he's been helping us, and he's just. I think it felt good to start him today. It was the right time after coming on and contributing. He was unlucky not to start on the the weekend. We've got a lot of players that are ready to help the team. So you can ask me about this player, but there'll be some other players that aren't in the team. It's just that's how it is. But I just thought that him and Aaron Moy maybe could give us a bit in that midfield in those advanced positions, and happy with him. It's a good performance, and he's another one that will get better.
Webster, what's the news with him?
He just felt his hamstring, so we're hoping it's not too bad. But he had to come off precautionary. It didn't make sense to stay on. But obviously, I thought Shane did really well when he came on as well. So delighted for him.
And a good time to get a break now after 2 games in 4 days and 15 weeks without a game.
Yeah, exactly. It's been all or nothing, so to speak. It's been a short turnaround, as I've said before. It's especially with an emotional game that Saturday was, and it's a warm night here as well. It was the boys had to dig in, and they did it really well. I thought they, like I said, reduced them to not too much. So we're happy, but we have to carry on.
Good. Thanks very much. Well done. Cheers.
Cheers, Brian.
Thank you.
Andy, do you want to ask something?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Hi, Graham.
Andy.
A lot is made of sort of Graham Potter's teams in terms of having, the possession you have and movement and fluidity. You've now gone over 4 hours without conceding an away goal, and that's against Sheffield United, Wolves and Leicester. How much is that the basis as well? How much work defensively does it require to have a record like that against 3 of the sides pushing at the top end?
I think you just get tarred with a certain brush sometimes, Andy. It's an easy thing to generalise. I think if you're going to be successful in football, as I've said, you have to have a balance. You have to be good defensively, and you have to try and attack well. Balance is the key for us, and I'm really pleased with the players. The defensive effort has been really good, and we've also tried to attack as well. We missed a penalty today, and had some opportunities on the counter attack and some good moments. But if it's not your day, at least keep a clean sheet and make it difficult for the opposition. And I must say the players have been really, really good with that, and their attitude, the desire to defend the goal has been really good.
Thing is, tonight, I mean, as you'll know, I think Jamie Vardy scored 4 in 4 against Brighton before this, but kept him pretty quiet tonight.
Yeah, which is not easy to do. He's a top player, and then they bring all the subs on as well, which Harvey Barnes and Tillemans come in, and Maddison start picking up pockets, and they've got some really good players, and they're 3rd in the league. So you're at the stretch, against Arsenal, but the boys dig in for each other and they give everything. So that's all you can ask as a coach. I'm really proud of them tonight.
Just one last thing on the substitutions. I mean, you've got through 10, haven't you, in 2 games? You've made 10 in 2 games. You made that triple substitution quite early tonight, 58 minutes. So, are you finding that a benefit having the extra 2?
Well, I think with where we're at the moment, I think it has to be, to be honest, just because the players are running on empty, and you've got to be really. You've got to be really thoughtful in terms of how you're using your subs and when you're using them, because there's times where you need some fresh legs into the team. You might lose a little bit of understanding, but the guys have come into the team and have helped in both games, so I'm really happy with that.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Darren, have you got any questions?
Yeah, just one quick one if there's time.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, hi Graham. Well done tonight. Just one on the age of the team, if I may. It's the youngest ever team I think Brighton have ever put out in the Premier League. That must bode well. You must be sort of pleased with that as well.
I'm not. It's not in my thoughts at all, to be honest. I don't look at the age of the players. We want to get points to stay in the Premier League. That's the main objective. If they're young, that's good because it's good, like you say, it's good for the medium to long term. But we're focusing on the next 7 games. we're fighting for our lives, and we're going to give everything we can to get the results. And then it's about whoever the right player is, regardless of the age.
Yeah. It must be encouraging that these young players can come in against such, experienced Premier League players, many of whom have won the title, and perform to the level that they did.
No, absolutely. We see them every day, and the only thing that you haven't got is, I suppose, evidence that they've done it at the level. But you see it every day, and you see the attributes, you see the characters, you see the personalities, you see the desire, and then it's just an easier decision. It's still, because we've got a lot of players at the club. Naming the starting 11 is not so easy, and also naming the substitute isn't easy. There's people missing out that could quite easily play for us. So that's the challenge that I've got. But we'll carry on fighting.
Great stuff. Well done. Thanks, Graham. Cheers.
Has anyone else got any questions for Graham? Go on, Jamie.
Hi, Graham. I just wanted to ask what your message would have been to Neil Maupay this evening, given the missed penalty.
No, there's no particular message. We know it's part of football. When you miss penalties, there's forwards do it all the time. That's life. So some days it goes for you, some days it doesn't. The important thing is not to get too high when it goes your way, and not to get too low when it doesn't. Try to stay normal and level, and then just wait for the next time, the next opportunity.
Yeah, just one on Lewis Dunk. I mean, how good was he tonight?
He's been sensational for us. I spoke to him in the press conference in the week that I thought he was a good player from the outside, but it's not until you work with him you realise how good he is. He's fantastic with the ball, great passing range, and then he just defends the box so well. He's a top centre back.
Great, thank you.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Peace.